All right, we're doing a little bit of work on the Focus ST, just something really quick and simple. We're gonna do the sound Symposer delete. And so what we're using is the Torque Solution Symposer delete. Now, my install is gonna be a little bit different. This comes with a plug. I have a vacuum port in mine, and so I've got a little bit of Loctite in there. And so the Symposer actually sits up front. It's pretty easy to do. It's just, there's 3 bolts here. They're all 8mm or 5/16, and so you're going to use like a wrench here to get it all loose. And then there's another part of the install which removes the tube, and that I'm not sure what that all requires to remove it just yet. So once we figure that out, I'll let you guys know. Okay, so you can see the sound Symposer is all in. We reused the hardware that came out of the old one, and then that cinched all up right there. This one's not going to be reused. This is just to mount it. So now that portion is done. The next part is for this install is going to be the cap here that's included. And so this cap, this obviously we're not using this plug. This plug would have went into the sound Symposer if you were the block off plate, if you were just blocking it off. So this other black plastic cap here goes into this hose right here for the sound Symposer. So all you got to do is just yank that sucker out and then pop this one in. Okay, so the elbow is pulled out, and you can see the cap is now in its place. It just pops into there, and it's nice and secure. And so now what we're going to work on next is removing the Symposer, the rest of it, which is it looks like a Torx right here. So let's go figure that out real quick. All right, so you need a Torx T20 to remove this. It's a singular bolt right here, and when you go to once you take the bolt out, you'll be able to lift it up to unplug this wiring connector. This wiring connector you do have to snake up. You're going to leave this unplugged, and if you don't zip tie it to something, it's going to fall down over by the shifter cables, and we don't want that. Now these hoses just pull off. So this is the one that was connected to the intake manifold. It goes here, and you just pop that sucker off. Then you have this other hose here that went to the firewall and right here, and we basically pulled all that out, and so that's going to go away. So now the only thing that I've got to do now is just figure out where I'm going to zip tie this. I'm probably going to zip tie it to the battery harness maybe, and then all I have to do now is find a vacuum cap, and that's basically it. So the Symposer install is pretty simple. Again, we use the kit. We're dealers for Torque Solutions, so that's obviously what we used here. And the part number for this one is TSST511. And like I said, pretty simple install. It probably took me start to finish maybe 10 minutes, honestly. But all you need is a Torx T20 and an 8mm wrench, and that's really all you need for the install. And then, you know, obviously. All right, so I was able to loop a zip tie through here just to keep this harness out of the way, and I was able to get a vacuum cap and then zip tied it off. And again, this is not for your typical install. It's just something for me. And so now the reason why I did it, this car has always, since I've owned it, has always had a rough idle. And if you were you know, it's got 175k or so like that, and the motor was all stock, but it's always had like a miss at it. If you left it idling long enough, you would actually throw misfire codes. So I did a smoke leak test on this a while back, and I had found that the O-ring here was leaking. So that's one big reason why I wanted to delete it. Now another reason why is I wanted this vacuum cap here, so that way down the line when I need to run accessories I can. But there's actually another bigger reason why I really wanted it. It's simply because I plan to use like the GDI cleaner stuff, and having a port right there where I can easily add a vacuum line and then use it to spray it in, because it comes in an aerosol can, and we'll make a video on that down the line whenever that time comes. And you know, like I said, having an access port that's directly in the intake manifold is going to make things a lot easier, and plus it cleans up the engine bay. I could really care less about fake intake noises that go into the cabin, you know. So alrighty, so the car is running right now, and I'm just going to give it a quick feel around here. Sweet, I don't feel anything leaking, so I think we're going to call that one good. And what I'll do though is I'm going to let the car come up to temp really quick here, and then you guys can see how the car idles. Right now the idle's a little bit on the high side because it's a cold start, but you can see that it's idling relatively okay. And the problem happens when the idle comes down. Okay, so the idle actually is a bit better now. So I guess that intake leak was probably part of it. it's actually rock solid. Before it kind of bounced around, but like I said, we did a smoke test and we found it. And so now it actually does seem to be idling a little bit better. You can still kind of feel like a very light misfire, but nothing crazy. Like I said before, you would see the RPMs just kind of dancing around. So the Sound Symposer Delete seems to have really done us some good.